Let me tell you a secret that will change how you see every relationship forever. Your partner isn't just your lover, they're your mirror. In fact, every person you've ever hated was yourself. That cashier who insulted you, the parent who failed you, the lover who left, they're all cracked mirrors, reflecting pieces of yourself you've been running from. This isn't poetry. It's neuroscience meeting 80-year-old psychology. Carl Jung proved that relationships aren't accidents. They're cosmic drills boring into your soul's bedrock. Let me show you exactly how this works. Ever wondered why certain people get under your skin so easily? You know that burning feeling when someone pushes your buttons? That's not them being terrible. That's your shadow barking. Jung's shadow archetype, the dumpster where we've shoved every trait we're ashamed of: impatience, jealousy, cowardice. But here's the twist: we don't see our own shadows. We smell them on others. Your boss's arrogance triggers you precisely because you've buried your own grandiosity. Your friend's neediness disgusts you because you've handcuffed your inner child in the basement. Relationships drag these buried fragments into daylight. But what about the people who shaped you from the start? Now, let's talk about your mother, or whoever raised you. They weren't just feeding you. They were installing your soul's operating system. Jung's great mother archetype. Every criticism she uttered carved neural pathways. You still walk today. Her voice became your inner critic. Her fears shaped your danger radar. But here's what nobody tells you. You'll keep recreating her energy in partners, friends, even bosses, until you consciously rewrite the code. That's why people date the same type. It's not about looks. It's about unresolved mother archetype business. Why do some relationships feel impossible to resist, even when they hurt? Ever notice toxic relationships feel magnetic? That's the Anima/Animus at work. Jung's theory that we carry an inner idealized feminine/masculine. Your anima isn't your dream girl. It's your unconscious feminine energy. When you meet someone who matches this blueprint, chemical warfare, dopamine floods, rationality drowns. Ancient myths knew this. That's why Cupid's arrows make lovers crazy. Modern science confirms it. fMRI scans show romantic love lights up the same brain regions as cocaine. This isn't romance. It's your psyche trying to integrate lost parts of itself through another person. What happens when a friendship no longer fits who you're becoming? Let's get uncomfortable. That friend you're growing apart from? It's not them. It's you outgrowing persona they reflect. Jung's mask, we were to fit in. High school versions of ourselves cling to certain groups because they validate our chosen mask. But as your true self emerges, those reflections start feeling like costumes 2 sizes too small. The friction isn't loss, it's growth. Like a lobster shedding its shell. Painful, necessary. Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to tell you something through the people you meet? Here's where it gets cosmic. Jung's concept of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences. That stranger who said exactly what you needed to hear, the book that felt open to the perfect page, the relationship that crashed your life, then rebuilt it better. The universe isn't random, it's conversational. Through relationships, reality whispers clues about your unlived potential. Your job? Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what part of me summoned this teacher? Why does that one ex still linger in your mind, no matter how much time passes? We need to talk about your ex, the one who still haunts you. Jungian analyst James Hillman has a brutal truth. We don't grieve the person, we grieve the unfinished archetype. That relationship wasn't about building a future. It was about exposing ancient wounds that need air. The cheating incident didn't break trust. It revealed where you glued your self-worth to someone else's choices. The ghosting didn't abandon you. It spotlighted your refusal to abandon self-betrayal patterns. Could the idea of a soulmate be holding you back from real growth? Let's dismantle soulmate myths. Jung warned about the golden projection, plastering someone with your spiritual fantasies. No human can bear that weight. True soulmates aren't perfect matches. They're perfect sandpaper. They grind off your rough edges through conflict. The partner who triggers your abandonment fears? That's not a bad relationship. That's your soul screaming to heal childhood survival strategies that no longer serve you. What if the way you see others is secretly shaping your reality? Here's the quantum physics part. David Bohm's holographic universe theory says every fragment contains a whole. You're not just in relationships, you are relationships. The way you judge others literally shapes how they show up for you. Stanford researchers prove this. When subject believed someone was kind, that person actually became kinder in interactions. Your expectations don't just color reality, they bake it. So how does all this fit into becoming who you're meant to be? Now the big picture. Jung's process of individuation, becoming your true self. This isn't solitary work. It's done through relational alchemy. Every conflict is a chisel strike removing falsehood. Every betrayal reveals where you betrayed yourself. Every heartbreak cracks open deeper compassion. You don't find yourself by escaping people. You find yourself by letting relationships excavate you. What's the real danger in relationships, and why might it surprise you? Final truth, the most dangerous person isn't your enemy. It's whoever makes you feel completely comfortable. Comfort stagnates. Tension transforms. Next time someone rubs you wrong, thank them. They're showing you a walled-off room in your soul's mansion. Your assignment? Stop trying to fix relationships. Let relationships fix you. The universe didn't send them to make you happy. It sent them to make you whole. But wait, why does this matter right now? Because we're living through the loneliest epidemic in human history. Harvard research shows 36% of people feel serious loneliness, including 61% of young adults. We swipe through faces like Netflix titles, mistaking connection for Wi-Fi signals. Here's what Jung would say about your dating apps. You're not searching for partners. You're shopping for missing pieces of yourself, and it will never work. Ready for proof that your attractions aren't as random as they seem? Let me prove it. That type you're attracted to? It's not physical. UCLA brain scans prove when we look at potential partners, we're subconsciously matching their facial expressions to our primary caregiver's face. Your mother's smile, your father's jawline, the security guard who first broke your heart. Your neurons are literally trying to recreate childhood dynamics, not for pleasure, but for resolution. What if your relationship struggles aren't fate, but a code you can crack? Now the game changer. Jung discovered that until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our lives, and we'll call it fate. That means your bad luck in relationships isn't random. It's your unconscious playing out old programs. The good news? Neuroscience proves we can rewrite these programs. Every time you pause before reacting to a trigger, you're literally growing new neural pathways. Want a practical way to turn every irritation into a breakthrough? Here's how to hack this. Next time someone irritates you, ask, what ancient part of me is this touching? That colleague who takes credit for your work, they're mirroring where you shrink from claiming your power. The friend who never texts first, showing you where you abandon yourself to please others. This isn't psychology, it's practical magic. How does the digital world amplify these hidden dynamics? Let's talk about social media, the ultimate archetype playground. Instagram isn't just an app, it's a collective projection of our ideal selves. Every influencer you follow represents some disowned part of you wanting expression. The travel blogger, your neglected adventure side. The spiritual guru, your buried wisdom. Even the accounts you hate reveal your shadows. That's why unfollowing feels so powerful. You're not curating a feed, you're reclaiming projections. Ever notice how your workplace feels like a family reunion gone wrong? Now the workplace. Your boss isn't just a boss. They're a walking, talking Rorschach test. Research shows we unconsciously assign parental roles to authority figures. If you had a critical father, you'll either seek or rebel against critical bosses. The co-worker who gets under your skin, they're acting out your unresolved sibling dynamics. Offices aren't buildings, they're family systems in suits. What if the messiest relationships are secretly the most transformative? Here's where it gets mystical. Jung studied alchemy not for gold, but for its metaphors about transformation. Relationships are our modern alchemical fire. The fights that burn you, they're burning away illusions. The silences that hurt, distilling truth from noise. Even divorce, what alchemists call the separation, isn't failure. It's the necessary dissolution before rebirth. Why does losing a friend hurt as much as a physical wound? Let's discuss friendship breakups, the grief no one prepares you for. Neuroscience confirms friendship rejections activate the same brain regions as physical pain. Why? Because in tribal times, exile meant death. Your body still reacts that way. But here's the alchemy. When a friendship ends, it's not rejection, it's evolution. You're not losing a person. You're shedding a version of yourself that no longer fits. What's the hardest truth relationships force us to face? Now the radical part. Jung said the most terrifying thing is to fully accept oneself. That's why we need relationships. They force us to confront what we'd never face alone. The partner who calls out your BS, the friend who names your patterns, they're not critics. They're sacred mirrors showing you where you're still lying to yourself. How do you know if a relationship is worth keeping? Here's your new relationship compass. Instead of asking, does this feel good? Ask, does this grow me? Comfortable relationships often keep us small. Friction-filled ones, they're sandpaper for the soul. The people who challenge you aren't obstacles to happiness. They're the exact curriculum your soul enrolled in. What if every person you've ever met is just a version of you in disguise? Final revelation, you've never actually met another person. Not really. Every relationship is you interacting with your perception of them. That's why two people can experience the same person completely differently. You're always dancing with your own projections. The moment you realize this, you hold the keys to every relationship you'll ever have, ready to turn every encounter into a treasure hunt for your true self. So here's your mission starting now. Become an archaeologist of your reactions. When someone annoys you, dig. When you're magnetically drawn to someone, dig deeper. Your relationships aren't random. They're the universe's most precise delivery system for exactly what you need to become whole. The question isn't, why is this person in my life? It's, what buried part of me have they come to awaken? Here's the ultimate twist. What if love was never the goal? Remember, no one can abandon you more than you've abandoned yourself. No one can love you more than you've claimed your own worth. Every relationship is just practice for the ultimate relationship with the one person you're guaranteed to spend your life with, yourself. So what's the real point of all these connections? The cosmic joke? You thought you were here to find love. Actually, you're here to realize you've never been separate from it. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every moment of connection, all just mirrors in the great hall of awakening. Your move. Stop seeing relationships as successes or failures. Start seeing them as opportunities to grow. Embrace the tension, the triggers, and the mirrors they hold up to you. Pick one relationship in your life today, maybe the one that frustrates you most, and ask yourself, what is this teaching me about myself? Then act on that insight. Growth isn't a destination, it's a daily choice. Start now and watch your world transform. If this resonates with you, subscribe for more insights and share this with someone who needs to see their mirrors too, because awakening is better together. Thank you for following us on this journey. I hope you found something valuable for your journey. See you in the next video.